Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be focusing on classroom, library, organization, and storage. I know this is a hot topic on YouTube. For those of you who are new here, my name is Katie Bonetta. I am going to be teaching 4th grade this year. I'm actually looping up with my 3rd graders, so I'm very excited. I've been teaching for 12 and a half years, and this is year number 11 at the same school I've been focusing and working in. So let's get to it. All right, so classroom libraries have been a big buzz lately. I have been seeing a lot of videos about them, about organization, about storage, about where you're putting your books, book bins, book labeling, book numbering. So I just wanted to give a little insight into my own classroom library. I am not a proponent of leveling books personally. As an adult, I don't pick up like my exact level book. I don't pick up a textbook to read, as an adult. So I like my kids to have choices. I want them to be able to look for books that are high interest, but that might not be on their level. A challenge is always a good idea. It's always a good thing to give them a little bit of a push. So that's my personal outlook on it. I do not level my books. My books are actually done by category. So I had a parent come in over the summer, and the parent helped me to organize my books. And you're gonna see some of them are already put into bins. Some of my categories are dork diaries. That's one of my categories. I have Goosebumps books. I have kind of a general chapter books, kind of a group books. I have books about animals. I have books that are Ever After High, so I know those are kind of popular right now. I have magic. I have books about dragons. So I have gone through all of my classroom library, actually over the summer, and sorted through all of my books and set them all into these categories. So that is how I am personally going to be organizing my library. The second thing that people have been focusing on and worrying about is storage. So I have gotten many different types of storage tools, and from a couple different places. I'm really impressed by the selection that has been available in Walmart, Target. I even found some cool things at Michael's. So I'll show you some of the bins, and I will link them in the description box for you. So one of the first bins that I actually got for my library was this white tub, okay? So this is actually a metal tin, and it was from Target's Dollar Spot. It was $5, and I thought it was like super sturdy. So I know some of the other bins that I have are a little bit more flimsy, but I like the sturdiness of this particular bin, and I can also use it to hold pillows and those kind of things. I have a pillow right here, actually, so my kids are gonna be using those this year. And they are just so much sturdier than your normal average bin that you might get from dollar stores, Dollar Tree. So this one is metal. It was $5. This is holding my I Survived books. I do have a lot of them. They are super popular, especially with my students who enjoy war kind of books. So I will always point them in the direction of this particular bin. So that is one of my bins. Another type of bin that I got was from Walmart. So these ones are a little bit flimsier, as you can see. So they are not as sturdy. They are plastic versus the metal. They were 98 cents. So definitely cost effective. And they do hold a lot of books. So that was one thing that I was looking for in a tub. Lots of books storage. I have a whole bunch of, these are Beverly Cleary. Okay, this is just my Beverly Cleary stock, and it is so many. There are so many books in this, and I really needed something that was going to hold all of them. When these little bins are a little bit smaller, very sturdy, but a little bit smaller, so they wouldn't provide the space I needed. So I've alternated them. I have a white, a blue, a white, a blue. So that's kind of how I'm doing my library look. And then this last one, I got this from Walmart's website. They do have them at Target, and they do have them on Amazon. They were a little bit more expensive, so I went with the Walmart's option, which was $40, providing 10 bins. So they are rectangular shape, so don't have that big like bulk, and they do hold a lot of books. So this was my magic books. And you can see that it is providing and holding a lot of them. So pretty good. They are very sturdy. I will link these in the description box. So those are my 3 storage bin types that I have currently. My other thing that I'm going to do with my books is actually just shelve them. For example, I have a series of Unfortunate Events, and those are hardback, thick books. I'm going to just set those as a separate category and stack them, so that the students can easily see what they are. They know what the show is, so they're gonna have an easy time understanding what the books are about, and then they can just pick the ones that they want. So that was one of my categories that was a large amount that I can just stack. So that was my other storage option. I have not done my paperbacks yet. So paperback books are actually pretty popular in my classroom, surprisingly. The students are very happy to look at pictures. And you know, looking at pictures is reading. They're thinking, they're making inferences, identifying what's going on in the setting with the characters and the story. So I do provide those. And then nonfiction is another category that my students really get into, especially if it's things like war or animals. So they really like to read those kind of books. So I definitely offer those kind of books in my library. I'm going to actually sort some of these books and kind of show you how I was doing my categories. Based on picture books and nonfiction books, it can be a little bit harder to decipher and do categories. So you're just gonna have to decide if you want to keep them all together or if you want to kind of split them up. Okay, I've got a random stack of a variety of types of picture books. So I'm just gonna kind of go through them and let you know how I would categorize these books. Because they are picture books, I might do larger categories versus like all about dragons and things like that. I might do a category that is fiction and just do fiction books altogether. Or I might do historical fiction or science fiction so that you have a broader category within these smaller books. All right, so holiday. Definitely when I have a holiday category. I have a lot of these. All right, this is constellation. So this one's going to be more of a nonfiction and science. So nonfiction. Oh, Magic School Bus. So Magic School Bus is kind of a wonky category. It is fiction and it is also informational. So it's kind of like, oh, where do I put it? I think that I'm going to stick with this as informational. So we'll go in nonfiction on that one. Young Squanto. Informational. This is historical, so that might be another category separate from science. So history. If I lived in the colonial times, we do teach colonial America in my grade level, so this will be in historical, nonfiction. Animals, dogs, of course, so nonfiction. Jungle animals, nonfiction. More animals, nonfiction. So I just recently purchased some of these books in our local consignment shop. So they were having a sale, 30% off all of their books. So this was $1 and I paid 70 cents for it. So that's kind of worth it to me. My students love animals, so they will definitely enjoy that one. U.S. Navy SEALs, again, this is informational, nonfiction, but it's more of like war. So again, that category was pretty popular with some of my students. So nonfiction, war-based. Another holiday, night before Halloween. My Magical Friends, Unicorn Rescue. This is magic, so this is fiction and a magic category. Oh, Tony Baloney, Yo Ho Ho Halloween. Again, holiday. And, oh, Pout Pout Fish. I love Pout Pout Fish. So this is You Can Do It Pout Pout Fish. So this is definitely definitely fiction, and this is going to be probably just as a category as fiction. So those are the ones that I pulled out only. I'm gonna go ahead and sort through the rest of these so I can try to find some space on my bookshelf for them. Okay, so I finished sorting my books. I do have quite a large amount of picture books, surprisingly enough. I wanted to show you some of my other chapter books I have sorted, and I'm going to start putting them into bins. So I did make these little labels to label all of my bins. So this is a TPT from a TPT person, and I just put the words inside. My kids are learning cursive, so we are in a cursive. Graphic novels, Babysitter's Club, I Survived. So these are my little labels for my bins. I'm going to just tape them on. I decided against laminating them because why kind of like double duty, right? Why would I laminate when I'm going to tape? So that was one thing I wanted to show you. Here are my stacks of books. As you can see, there are many of them. And then I also forgot to show you guys these cool little bins that I had bought at Michael's. It's a canoe. So my classroom theme is camping, and I found these canoes for $10 at Michael's. They were on sale, so I went ahead and bought them. I bought two. So this one has my featured Babysitter's Club. My kids love them. And I have this other one over here on this side, and that one has the Dork Diaries. I think I'm gonna change them out like every, little bit and kind of like do it that way so that they have new showcased books. But I figured those are like the popular ones right now, so I was going to keep those kind of up in the front. Okay, so I have one bin already that I kind of started. This is my dragon bin. So all of these books are about dragons. I'm gonna grab another bin. Start sticking some more stuff. So these are those blue, more sturdy bins that I had bought previously. So where are we gonna go with this? All right, so these ones are like my historical fiction kind of books. So I will start throwing those in here. And I'm just hoping that they all fit. If they don't fit, I might have to end up buying more bins because I have so many books I didn't realize, you know. And not even close. I still have a whole like half of the stack left. So there's one. Another one. Stick the rest of those in there. There is also a possibility of like rotating out your books. So if you have way too many books in your classroom library, pull out the ones that the students are not maybe as prone to reading and kind of like just replace them, swap them out every once in a while so that the kids do get like a variety of, you know, options and choices. So I'm never gonna fill these books in these bins. I gotta get some more bins, I think it looks like. All right, so these ones are my graphic novels, which are included with the Babysitters Club. So those are not in here, but I do have these in here. Looks like that got mixed up in there. There's only a few in there, not too many. I might have to just make that something different. This one I didn't even have a place for it, but it looks like, oh, kind of like a graphic novel, so I'll add that one to that bin. Hopefully this was helpful in organizing your classroom library. I still have a lot of work to do, so I'm just going to get busy stacking some bins and starting to label. So once I'm done with my bins and stuff, I will get back on here and show you guys the final results. So here again is like kind of my like layout of like my books, kind of. Okay, so hopefully that's helpful. See you soon. Okay, finally I have finished my classroom library. It has taken me like 5 days of in-service trainings and, you know, organizing and printing and printing and printing. So we're gonna go through the last and final little tour of the finished product. So I have all my bins and I have them all labeled with those little labels that I created. So here is the little s'more, and then these bins are labeled. I have the white bins and the blue bins that I did purchase, and I will link those in the description box. I have my canoes still, and those are still showcasing a few books. I don't have bins for 2 of my groups of books. The reason is they are massive books because they are picture books. So I labeled them as science and social studies books because they are like fiction, nonfiction related to those 2 topics of study. So I will show you what that looks like without a bin. And it actually looks pretty good, so it worked out for me pretty well. Then we have historical, art classics, again, labeled with that little s'more image that I had gotten from a TPT store. I will link that in the description. So our Magic Tree House, we have Goosebumps in this cool bin. That was the one from Target. Princess books, animals, and then on the bottom I have basically all of my picture book storage. This is nonfiction, and then these ones are the fiction, and then I do have this one that's animal nonfiction, and then again that like social studies and science section. So that is my library. I hope that it was helpful for you. I do have like a lamp and like some cute, you know, little organization that makes it like a little bit more cozy. I got a bucket of flashlights. My students are gonna have flashlight Fridays for reading time. I do have my pillow here, some like lights and stuff. So that's it. I hope this was helpful with your organizing. So good luck in your own classrooms.